This is the plaintiff, Gregory Horner. He says he and the defendant agreed to make a trade. He gave her his Toyota 4Runner, and in exchange, he was going to get 2 working snowmobiles. Well, the lady ended up unloading 2 worthless, unusable, unsalvageable pieces of junk on him and double-crossed him big time. He's here to set things straight and is suing the unscrupulous rip-off artist for $1,500, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Keely. She says she told the plaintiff in no uncertain terms the snowmobiles were not in running condition when he agreed to make the trade for the truck. In fact, the truck didn't even run when she received it, and she had to have it flatbedded to her house. She ended up putting $1,000 in to get it roadworthy. The trade happened almost 3 years ago, and if you ask her, they're more than even. She's accused of snowing a guy.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bartered with the defendant a Toyota 4Runner for 2 snowmobiles. The problem was the snowmobiles were garbage, but she says neither his truck nor his snowmobiles ran, so they're even. It's the case of race you.
Okay, Gregory Horner.
Yes.
You are suing Kelly and Gary. You've asked us not to use your last name. Gary's your husband, and you have power of attorney. You're going to be testifying here today, correct?
Yes.
For $1,500 that you say they owe you. Because of a trade that took place that, according to you, wasn't what they represented it would be. Tell me what is going on.
Well, thank you for hearing my case, Your Honor. It started when I posted a Craigslist ad to trade a 1985 Toyota 4Runner for 2 working snowmobiles.
And that's actually what the ad says, 2 working snowmobiles.
And I have the ad right here.
You posted that when?
It was posted on December 8th, 2010.
Okay.
And I have evidence with a picture of the truck, and I also have the ad, and then I also have proof that I am the owner of the truck.
Okay, and you were asking for either somebody to make you a firm offer of how much?
$1,500.
Or 2 working snowmobiles.
2 working snowmobiles.
Okay,
yes,
and then?
So they agreed. They had 2 working snowmobiles. I got a call from Gary, and I went over and signed a contract, which Keely wrote herself.
May I see it?
And yes, ma'am. And in that contract, you can see that no titles were exchanged until the deal was done and all parties were satisfied. Will be released upon
receipt of 4Runner title. No title was exchanged because you were supposed to give them the 4Runner title. Did he ever give you the 4Runner title?
He said that he hadn't received it. He had a piece of paper from the state of Washington stating that the last registration, in order to receive that, he didn't need the title for some reason, which...
Let me see that. So then did you ever send him the titles to the other thing?
My snowmobile...
I'm confused. How are you going to register the truck if you didn't have a title?
I was waiting for the title, Your Honor.
I understand. So what did you do when the title was not forthcoming? What did you do?
We asked him for it. He would not give it to us. Well,
so he wouldn't give it to you, so what'd you do? You sold it without a title to somebody else?
I did. I sold it for parts because it was not worth $2,000.
Yeah, but how does that person determine that you are the title holder and not a thief if they don't see the title?
I had a bill of sale signed by Gregory.
All right, so what happens now? Well, the transaction takes place when? In January? It just says January 2011. What day in January?
I didn't put a date at the top. At the time, I had just...
Okay. Does anybody remember the date? No. All right. So sometime in January, the transaction takes place. And now, did you expect a running 4Runner or no?
The 4Runner was towed to my house.
Okay. So you always knew it didn't run?
It didn't run. My husband...
You knew that, though, is what I'm saying. That was not a surprise.
And
so now you end up receiving the 2 snowmobiles. And in March, you find out that the snowmobiles don't run?
No, I found out right away, immediately.
Oh, show me proof that you found out right away.
I don't have any proof that I found out right away.
Right. All your proof shows that March is when you start demanding your money back.
Right. I demanded my money back
2 months later in March.
As soon as I found out.
Show me proof you demanded your money back before March. When did you, according to you, when did he contact you to say, I want my money back?
It was March.
2 months after the transaction.
After the transaction, after I have heard that he's ridden the snowmobile, driven by...
Who have you heard that he's ridden the snowmobile
My
from?
husband.
How does your husband hear that he's ridden the snowmobile?
friends.
Do you have an affidavit from someone who says he rode the snowmobile?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, so now, because it's January, so it's snowmobile riding time. You know, one would assume that if you get the snowmobiles into your hot little hands and you desperately wanted a snowmobile, that you might use a snowmobile in January. So it is suspicious that it's not until March where you have messages on your machine demanding your money back. But, you know, it's March. So I need proof from you that you contacted them and said, oh my God, right away.
So is it kind of weird to you that these snowmobiles supposedly didn't run, but he waited 2 months to complain?
Absolutely. I mean, anything could have happened in the 2 months between the time they bartered and he was complaining.
What do you think?
I think that's unreliable. You have no idea what happened in that time between, and you're not sure.
What do you think?
You don't know.
Say, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, I got that. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you, in fact, it's in March when you end up buying another snowmobile, right? For parts to try to fix this snowmobile.
No, ma'am, I did not buy that for parts.
Okay. Did you go and see a mechanic who told you this thing is in essence totaled?
Absolutely.
Okay. When did you go see that mechanic?
I went and saw that mechanic in January.
Okay. Can I please see proof that you went and saw the mechanic in January? That would be proof that it happened before March.
I just have this proof here.
I don't know what that means. Show me the, honey,
I have all the pictures.
Show me the thing from the mechanic.
This is
what date does the thing from the mechanic?
This is all the receipts that I have from the mechanic, and these are the pictures.
What date does the thing from the mechanic have?
2/27/2011.
Okay, 2/27. That's before March. It's certainly after January. So 2/27 would mean a month later. How did you get it to the mechanic?
He came and picked it up with the flatbed.
Okay. You know, none of that's in there, right? Is that in there? Does it show that charge for tow?
No.
No. Not only that, it doesn't say doesn't run, does it? What the thing from the mechanic says, fuel hose, something clean carburetors. Why are you doing all that if they don't run? What are you doing? You trying to get them to run? Paid cash, 500 engine parts, rings, pistons, seals, gaskets, cylinder, bore. And that's April that you're doing that.
Those were engine parts, ma'am. You have pictures of the 1992 Arctic Cat
pictures aren't going to tell
440.
Me. I'm looking at
and
this.
It has a picture of a broken piston, which was in the.
Okay, but you know, but you understand the question is, did they breach a contract? You have to prove that your contract demands that it be running and it wasn't running. Both those things. I'm with you on the demands that it be running. Okay, because I see your ad in Craigslist that says running snowmobiles. Are you denying that his ad said, I want 2 running snowmobiles?
They did, but the agreement that we had, and after telling him everything that was wrong with the snowmobiles, he agreed on the trade.
Okay, why wouldn't that, you know, be a really good idea if when you have something in writing that says, I recognize that they don't run, so they don't come back to bite you, or is as is or something, you know? Now, sale of used motor vehicles like these are by default as is, okay? What takes it out of as is if somebody makes a specific warranty about something and says, for example, they run. I consider saying they run a specific warranty. I don't know, I wasn't present when you guys did this deal. You say, I told them they didn't run. Watch this. Did she tell you they didn't run?
No, absolutely not.
And then he shows me the ad where he's demanding that they be running snowmobiles. So, you know, that's already all a little muddy. But let's assume that you thought they ran. How do all these months pass before you finally say something? I've got you going the first time a month later, at a minimum a month later, it might even be a month and a half later. 2/27 is the first evidence you have of even taking them in to do any repair. That's 2/27. The next time you go to do something is 4/27. And then in May is when someone says, for all intents and purposes, this is totaled. It's cost more to repair than it's worth. Not once does it say that it's not running. She claims people told her that you were running it around town. January would be a time when one would know. Show me something that shows that right away you said, these don't run. Buyer's remorse is not a reason for you to be able to return them. The only reason that you arguably have, she claims she told you they didn't run. But if I'm just going to ignore her because there's no written proof of that and go by what you say, which is you demanded they run, the only reason for return would be if they didn't run from Jump Street. That's when it becomes critical for you to be able to prove they didn't run from Jump Street.
Well, I'm
Otherwise,
sorry.
if all this time is passing, you could have run him to the ground.
It took
So-
time for me to work on the snowmobiles because it's very expensive to work on them. I didn't have the money. And
Yeah, but you'd know right away if they're working or not, if they're running.
And I
You'd know if
called
they're
them
running.
immediately.
You'd know that by turning it on. You'd
ma'am,
know
I
that.
called them immediately.
That's,
How could
it's
I
not
have-
helping you that the first time you ever do anything to the snowmobiles a month later, and then a month after that, and then a month after that. Those are the 3 pieces of proof that you showed me.
I didn't have any money, ma'am. How could I fix a snowmobile I didn't have any money to fix?
I'm sorry, based on this evidence, I have to rule in favor of the defendant. That's my judgment.
Thank you.
It's too bad there was no evidence that you could have
There was
presented
plenty of
about the
evidence.
call, immediate call.
What kind of evidence can I come up with in 3 years?
I can think of one thing. I can think
What?
of one thing you
What?
could have done is maybe email a confirmation to the gentleman of, the phone call we just had.
I had a contract. No titles were exchanged.
All right. So where do you go from here? You're stuck with the stuff, and what do you do with it?
You don't do anything. You get screwed.
Yeah, okay. All right. Sorry about that. You head right around this way, and let's see what you have to say about this, sir. Come on in here. What's your feeling on the outcome here?
He knew that the snowmobiles were not running at the time of purchase. They had to be winched on there. I mean, if it doesn't start and you want it running, why buy it?
Did you guys write all this stuff down anywhere in some sort of a contract that said the stuff is not running and these are conditions and nothing was specified?
No, I took a non-running forerunner for a non-running snowmobile, so I didn't expect to have to go.
All right, Harvey, what do you think of all this?
Kurt, you are so right. If you have any problem with something that you purchase or get, you have to put your displeasure in writing and do it immediately. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.